Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The so, um, yeah, I know I've been quiet with wisp-related content. Honestly, I plan on making a couple of videos this morning, and finally, it's always around the end of the month I get motivated. I'm not sure why, but anyway, I'm gonna be doing this shortly. It's a teardown, but anyway, for better or worse, because I know I'm never gonna get rich, and many of the ideas that I have come up with have been stolen from me. Because you know what, that happens, right? Well, I'm stupid and I share things because it's like, huh, I can do better and I can help people and blah, blah, blah. And that just leaves me getting screwed constantly. But you know what? In the grander scheme of things, when it comes down to actually what's important, hey, we're a small community and it's better to actually help each other than step on each other, right? So, anyway, I wanted to show you guys something which I've been working on. It's not done, but thanks to one of my clients, we came up with this basic concept, and it does need some fine tuning. And then I'm going to print it, and I am going to share it. What have I got on my face? It's like sugar or something. Anyway, so this is a cable stash, or I don't know what we're gonna call it yet. Am I peaking? Let me just fix that. ADHD. So the concept here is, we wanted to make something to put loose cable ends into that could simply be um, installed and maintained with nothing more than zip ties. It's like one of those high school projects where they have you build a bridge out of popsicle sticks, right? Same kind of thing. So we came up with this, and I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy Steve, because he's actually the one who came up with the idea, and then the two of us sat down together and designed this. So the idea and this little thing that I've designed in Tinkercad, is you zip tie this. So you can see right here. So this is designed to go onto a tower leg. And of course, this fitting can be changed for whatever tower you're using. Um, and the idea is that this will zip tie to the tower leg with a couple of heavy duty zip ties, not those dinky little toys that we typically use, right? And it zip ties to the leg, and then you can bring your cables up, your loose heads, and stick them in here. So the idea is that they'll just fit into these little slots, you see, and then you put the head just over top of this guy here, this little notch, right? So it'll sit in here and you zip tie it. And I think I'm also going to put a cap on the top of this, like a little umbrella cap that will insert about almost this diameter right here, actually, that will encircle the tops of these heads. It'll overlap, and then that way, even if the top is off, water won't come straight down on it. Obviously, if you've got rain coming in horizontally, it would hit it if the cap was missing. But the idea here is that the cables will come in like so, and then the zip tie goes through and holds the head right here, and it keeps them nice and dry. As far as these guys go, you can just put tape over these little slots to keep the hornets from getting in and making a bloody nest, so that you open these things up and encounter hell on earth. Now, the cap. This part I'm really actually kind of proud of. So the cap here, and this is fully 3D printable. So if you guys want the STL, it's on my Patreon. If you guys want me to print one and ship it to you, by all means I can do that. If you've got friends who have 3D printers, then you should be able to 3D print this too. But yeah, and if anybody else starts producing this, you know where they got the idea for this. So you know what? It might help others, but I know that somebody's going to see this and be like, oh, we can manufacture that and sell it on our site in some variation thereof. So this can here, the idea is that it can be fastened on with zip ties as well. So I'll show you. So the can, I should probably rotate it a little tiny bit. Nope, too much. Let's rotate it about, let's try 10 degrees. How about 5? 5 degrees should do it. There we go. Yeah, I think that does it. So if you look here, a little bit more. How about, whoops, move negative 2.5. There we go. So the concept here is that this can, and by the way, I plan on making it a tether mount for the inside of it, that you can just take a piece of wire or string and tie it on the inside of the can, and then tie it around the peg, nice and dirty like, right? So that, you know, you could just let it dangle. You don't have to worry about it blowing away because, oh shit, I lost the cap and the wind is taking it off yonder into the next farmer's field over, which is a cornfield, and I'll never find it ever again. So the concept here is that I wanted to again make this so that the whole thing could be serviced using zip ties. So if you look here, I made a couple of rough holes. Again, this is just proof of concept at this point in time. So when you drop this thing over top, you'll notice that it overlaps a bit. But the holes here, as you can see, there's overlap so that the water drips down and doesn't get drawn in through the capillary effect or wicking. It'll just rest on the arm here. So the concept here is that you just poke the zip tie through. You can hoop it. Yes, I realize that pushing a zip tie up and through would be a nightmarish concept, but I think we've got the general idea. You use a long zip tie and you poke it through the first hole first, and then before you lower the can over the top, you push it through the bottom. So now the zip tie is poked at the bottom, and then you pull it back through here because now you've got access, as you can see, to the bottom hole right there. There, the bottom hole's right there, as you can see, right? So you can now push the zip tie out the bottom hole, and then you can zip tie it on. So it's just a workflow, right? You put the zip tie in first into the can, and then as you're lowering the lid, you push it through the bottom, and then you weave it at the outside, and then you can zip tie it shut. Bam! She's sealed, right? Unless you have an angry raptor that wants to sit on top of it and rip it off for whatever stupid reason birds do that. But yeah, I wanted to come up with a basic concept that's really easy to assemble, doesn't require anything more than zip ties to utilize. And this is what him and I came up with. So again, I'm going to put the link to the STL on my Patreon, and it's going to evolve as things come along. And now this is just the first Wisp-related product or project I'm making in Tinkercad. I've got some other things that I'm working on, like ears for equipment, things like that. And don't forget, if you've got an STL, you don't necessarily have to 3D print it out of plastic like PETG or ABS. There's websites you can go to, or I think even Tinkercad does this, and you can get it printed for you, and you can even get it made out of metal. So there are places where you can go that could say, take this whole thing here, right? And then they can actually make it out of metal for you. Or you can ungroup this like so. I could ungroup this part of it, bleh, and then you can choose this specific piece and get the bracket made out of it, right? So let me just undo that. There we go. You can see all the little pieces that I've been screwing with to try to get this to work. But yeah, so it's a pretty simple little project, and if any of you other guys have any ideas of something that you want to make, go ahead and make it for the community. You know, don't be shy. I threw that together in Tinkercad. And, I mean, now that a lot of us are learning how to do the, God, I am so out of the game. A lot of us are trying to figure out the government regulation in the United States. It's not quite there in Canada yet, but we're starting to survive. A lot of the smaller companies have been shaken off. The companies that weren't going to survive anyway have been shaken off. So a lot of you guys that are still present right now, good for you. You are going to succeed and do very well for your communities. But that doesn't mean, well, actually it means more so than ever, that you need to try to save money. So if any of you guys have some ideas, get on Tinkercad, make something. And if you want to sit down with me and you've got a general idea that you want to bring to life, by all means, let me know. Like, don't just leave a comment and say, hey, I want to do this, because then you'll never get back to me. Shoot me a message. You can message me through the Facebook group, the Ms.Fixit Facebook group. You can also find me on LinkedIn. I'm on there under Sarah Kerr. My company's ISP Technology, WISP engineering and administration, plus we also do the electronics repairs for WISPs and telecoms in general. So just reach out. You can even go to my website, isptechnology.ca, and reach out to me via email. And we can make up some stuff. And, some of the stuff I'm going to put public, just publicly accessible. And because I live in Canada, which, as you know, our inflation is spiraling out of control, I still need to survive and make a bit of money. Some of the stuff here, I'm just going to make it really cheaply available, which is why I want to put it on the Patreon. You can join one of the lower tiers and get access to the STLs for this stuff, right? So there you go. There's something which we've thrown together. me and a member of our community slash one of my clients, we came up with this concept, and yeah, I think this is going to be really beneficial to those of you guys who have loose cable ends up top, because rather than sticking a bag over it and then taping it, or just taping it and leaving it aside, you can throw one of these guys up there, cost effectively enough, and just stick all of your cables inside of it. And you don't just have to put Cat 5 in here. If you've got fiber leads, we made this with 6 ends, but you could very, very easily just put a fiber cable through here and just loop or even like wind carefully around the top, because that's a wide diameter, wide enough that it won't exceed the bend radius capability of your fiber strands, right? Wrap it around the top and just zip tie it, and now your fiber ends are all safe up inside of here. Hell, this could very easily be modified to take keystones, and I was already thinking about that, changing this so it's got 6 keystone slots instead, and then you could use that as a splice can or a terminal can, so we can lower the anchors, the cable anchors, down halfway, put a keystone on it, and then you can get your specific type of coupler that's necessary, pop it in, and you can use this for joining your fiber up tower. You can have your LC leads or SC leads, it's usually LC, click into your keystones, and you can get the keystones from your favorite wholesaler like Baltic Networks or Streakwave or Wave, and yeah, just pop them in, connect your LC, and then if you've got a device that needs to connect, you just drop the cable out, plug it into the LC. So something like this can be modified. That's the beauty of this site, right? You can create variances or remixes, right? And I mean, eventually, it's probably going to end up on Thingiverse, right? But in the meantime, it still needs fine-tuning. As you can see, it's not perfect. This is driving me insane. I've got to fix this one piece right here. It's really bothering me. And of course, there's going to be evolution to this where we can put other type things in it. So there you go. And yeah, I've ranted a bit. So don't forget, if you like my content, like and subscribe. No, I'm not dead. No, I haven't left the industry. I've got a fairly large client base still. And I'm just trying not to participate in social media nearly as much because I find it gets me a little heated and I get a little triggered when I'm on there. And I'm not triggered. It's just like, dude, I'm just as fucking broken as anyone else, right? So, I mean, sometimes something will set me off and then I look like an idiot and I just don't want to be part of any toxicity. So, no, I'm not dead. I am very active, trading, and up to date within the industry. I'm just trying not to participate in social media. So, there you go. Like, subscribe, join the Patreon if you want to help keep me alive in this totalitarian... Sorry, I can't say things like that because I'll pull my YouTube channel. Yeah. Have a great day.